Hello, good hunter. I am a doll, here in this dream to look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit. Did you speak with Gehrman? He was a hunter long, long ago, but now serves only to advise them. He is obscure, unseen in the dreaming world. Still, he stays here, in this dream. Such is his purpose. Ah, the little ones, inhabitants of the dream. They find hunters like yourself, worship and serve them. Speak words they do not. But still, aren't they sweet? Ah, the...
Hello, and thanks for joining. I figured it'd be a good idea to narrate while I'm in the hunter's dream. I'll be dicking around in here, upgrading my character, spending my blood echoes, upgrading my weapon, things of that nature. That's what I'm doing in the background. My narration's not going to be in tune with that. So I figured it'd be a good time to explain some of the basics. Resources, resource management, just the real basic stuff that'll prevail throughout the game. I also wanted to clarify on the boss format for this video. I know in previous videos I said this one was going to contain both the Cleric Beast and the Father Gascoigne boss fight. That video was like 43 minutes. I think I'm going to try to keep these to 30 or less. So next episode, that'll be your Father Gascoigne fight. So basic resources, we'll start with blood echoes. That's that number at the top right of the screen. Blood echoes are a multi-use resource. You use it to upgrade your stats, level up basically. You use it to buy items and equipment. You gain blood echoes from killing monsters. Pretty simple. Smashing cold blood items that you find will give you them, and even selling items will give you blood echoes. So it's an interesting resource because it serves two purposes, and one of the most important things about it is when you die, you lose your blood echoes. Either they'll drop on the ground or an enemy will consume them, and you've got to run all the way back to wherever you lost them and get them back. As a matter of fact, I'm crushing my cold blood items right now to gain blood echoes since I'm about to level up. Insight is another interesting resource. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It unlocks weird things. For instance, the first one we got is the one that woke up the doll in the hunter's dream. You gain insight by discovering new areas, discovering bosses, beating bosses. The best use for it is to buy new equipment from one of these bird baths where the messengers are. Health, that's a pretty important one. If you haven't figured it out, it's the red bar on the left, and when it's gone, you're done. Stamina, that's the green bar on the left. Determines how many times you can swing your weapon. Some weapons take more than others. Also affects whether or not you can dodging and rolling. Uses stamina. You boost that with the endurance skill.
What is it you just...
So here I'm going to trade in some of my blood echoes to upgrade some of my stats. Early on, it's a good chance I'm going to
let me stand close.
Put it all into health, so I'm not getting two-shot by things. I think a couple of times I almost got, 2 hits from a rat took half my life away. Since I'm going to be fighting bosses now, I'm just going to be putting that shit into vitality to boost my health. Stat fluctuation, 1 point isn't always like 10 health or whatever. It fluctuates, so if you see me kind of dicking around with the scaling, I'm checking strength, I'm checking, what's 1 point of skill going to do for my damage, and what's 2 points of vitality going to do for my health. That's why. Ultimately, I think I end up with 19 vitality here, and I did that because the 19th point jumped me up to like 25 more health. So just, shit like that. You dick around with. The stat screen here is pretty good. I'm going to get more into the poison res and the frenzy res and all the defensive stats and even the attack stats later. Right now, this is just basic resource management that I'm discussing. But it gives me a good opportunity to talk about weapon scaling. I mean, I think I made a pretty big deal about being able to upgrade my threaded cane, right, with the blood shards. The reason for that is I'm getting a damage boost from the upgrades. I'm not spending any of my stat points here to do that. And to briefly explain scaling to anybody who doesn't know, different weapons scale with different stats, okay? So like the threaded cane is a skill-based weapon, meaning it scales better. I'll get more damage if I boost skill for the threaded cane than I would if I boosted strength. So I might get 1 point of attack with 1 point of strength, but I might get 4 points of attack with 1 point of skill. That kind of shit. So I'm not really worried about the damage here. And again, we'll get more into that when I get my other weapon. Maybe some minor stuff like these messengers. She's mentioned the messengers. These little weird dudes, like those guys right there in front of the thing. You've seen them around. They're just these random dudes, right? You can get little hats for them and shit. They sit in these bird bath things. You go up to them, you can buy shit from them. There's another bird bath thing above this one. The one that we're looking at right now, that's all blood echoes. There's another bird bath that you spend insight on, so that's another resource that you can use to spend and buy things. And a lot of times, which is one of the really cool things about the game, when you kill bosses and you get hunter's badges, which you've probably seen me pick up one on the last run, it opens up new items to buy. And one of the cool things is some of those items are like full sets of gear that make you look like one of the bosses. So I try to pick those up when I can. Anyway, that's kind of a crash course on the basics of the game. We're back at Central Yharnam. We're going to go see if we can't take down the Cleric Beast, the first boss in the game. Considered an optional boss. I've been gaming for a long time, man. I don't know what, no bosses to me have ever been optional. But anyway, here we go. I hope you like it.
This task finished.
Welcome home. Ah. Very well. Let me stand. Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.